Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. My name is Tyson, and I am here to bring you a live playthrough of Pingyao First Chinese Banks. This is a game for 1 to 4 players. It will be coming to Kickstarter January 12th, 2021. This is a game from Jing Studios, and Jing Studios is a Chinese publisher who are bringing strategic games from China to all over the world. They've already published this game in Chinese, and this is going to be the English language version that's being brought to Kickstarter. I'm going to go through today and talk to you and play through a full solo game, because this game plays from 1 to 4 players, and it's a dice as workers placement game, meaning that I will have all of these dice over here, which are going to be played onto these different spots of the board. And we'll get into all of that as we go through. But to be sure, if anybody's out there watching and listening, I can see there's a few of you, and you can hear me, give me a thumbs up or let me know. If not, I guess I'll be talking to nobody for a minute. And I'll let it catch up for just a minute. So basically what this game is that it takes place in ancient China, where we are merchants attempting to establish the first banks. In China, there was a lot of problematic ways to be able to get silver from one place of China to the next, and so what this game simulates is getting and starting your banks, which I have represented by my player board, which I'll show you. This is the main board. On the main board, you have all of these different locations where you can go to do different things. And I'll explain all of that as we get further into the game. And then on my board, this is where I'm going to be keeping track of all of my different banks that I will be growing. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of what the game is, and then we'll get into how to play. Overview of the game is we're playing again as gin merchants trying to go through, establish these banks. On the main board, you will see that there are several different tracks. So you've got this remittance track, you've got a fame track, and you've got your round tracker. Each game will go through 8 rounds, regardless if you're playing solo or if you're playing multiplayer. And it looks like we've got our first Twitch viewer talking. Thanks for joining us, Aslaskin. This will be a brief overview. I'm not going to go heavy into all of the rules of this game. If you haven't already, there is a video out there by Bronislav Beric. He has put together a how to play video that is very good. It's thorough, and it'll go over everything that you need. Additionally, we have some rules on the Board Game Geek page that you can check out if you want to. Or if you want, this tabletop simulator module is available for anybody to play. If you have Tabletop Simulator, you want to go in, just search for Pingyao, and you'll be able to find this game available there in English or Chinese. Now, in English, we will be going through the English version today. There are a couple things that will be switched as we go on. This is not necessarily the final form, but it's pretty close. As I was saying, though, we are going to go through 8 rounds of this game. Through the 8 rounds, we will be establishing banks by putting our dice in certain locations. Let me just start by grabbing this tile. So each game you will start with a bank, and you can place this anywhere on the first row for the first time. For the first bank, this is this bank here. You'll see is Taiyuan. My Chinese needs some work. But it is going to have several different things on it. So you can see in the bottom right corner that there's a symbol that has that, it's called a Saichi. And those Saichis are represented by these little silver ingots that are all over the game. They are some of the most important things in this game. If you were trying to get your game going, you're going to need to be getting silver ingots. Now, what we will be doing is I'm going to place my first bank here, and on it, oh, I need to lock that. On it, I'm going to add my 2 silver ingots. Each bank will start the game, or this bank rather, will start the game with 2 ingots, or a Saichi. What those do is that anytime you have a Saichi on the board, that means that's a profitable bank. That any Saichi that is on a bank is profitable. It's going to earn you money throughout the game. And that's what you want. This game is about making money through giving loans, taking loans, establishing banks, and through other means. So, throughout the game, like I said, we're going to go through a series of actions that we'll do. So I'm just going to actually get started because there's a lot to go over in this game. So if you have any questions or you're wondering how this game works in any specific way, stop, ask me a question, we'll answer it, we'll figure this game out. This is the first time that we'll be doing this stream. We're going to do a series of these streams every week. If you're interested in playing this game with me, please join our Discord server and we'll be able to get you set up with a game. Now, you'll notice that I have a pool of dice over here, and these dice over here are going to represent my workers, essentially. We have 2 different types. So we have these general ones and the Grand Manager dice. The Grand Manager dice are D4s, so a 4-sided dice, and then we have 6-sided dice. They have different abilities when you use them. So the purpose of the game is you're trying to make the most money. In order to do that, in a solo game, we have what are called event and story cards. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these up. I'm going to draw a story card because what a story card does is it essentially tells us what we're going to need to do this game. It gives us our objective. So let me walk through some of these symbols because there's a lot of symbols. The great thing about this game is it's virtually language independent. I've been playing on the Chinese version. This is the first time I'm playing on the English version. And you can play this game with the English or the Chinese version, regardless of what language you speak. Now, as we go through this card, this is our story card. It tells us essentially what we need to do this round, this game. So it gives us the title, the Relationship Network. So judging by that, I'm guessing that my objective this game is going to be getting a lot of fame, which is that purple circle symbol. What that fame will do is it's going to help increase my ability to do different things throughout the game. That second thing below Relationship Network, that's going to represent the government favor tile that I get to start with. So in this game, we have all of these government favor tiles. And you can purchase these throughout the game, but in the solo mode, you actually get to start with one. This one tells me which one I get to start with. So I just have to go find that one really quick. Okay, so I start with this government favor tile, and I get to put it over in my Pingyao headquarters. So that's what this board is right here. This is my Pingyao headquarters. On it, and that's a little bit fuzzy, let's look back at this. On it, you can see that there are a couple of different symbols. So that first symbol with the coin in the black border, that is going to say income. So there are several phases during this game. You have your action phase, you have your income phase, and you have a resolution phase and a cleanup phase. during the income phase is when you're going to be making all the money from your banks. So this says that during the income phase, any Saichi that I have loaned out will earn me an additional 3 coins for every 2. So on my player board, which I'm going to pull up here right now so that you can kind of see a little bit more, on my headquarters, there are several different things that we get to do. This whole left column, which you cannot see very well, I'm going to zoom in because that's going to be easier to see it. So this left column, it represents basically my headquarters. So I have a headquarter branch, and that works basically anywhere and everywhere. These other squares over here are the banks that I've yet to establish. So I have one established, which is the starting bank. This one is always going to be in a solo game the bank that you're going to start with. But I get my starting bank. This whole left column right here indicates that I get to do a number of different things. So I have my vault. This is where all of my Saichi is going to be stored, and that is going to be used to establish banks as I go through the game. On this top area, this is my give loans section. So anytime I give a loan, I will have to take Saichi. So I'm going to borrow this real quick. I can have to give a loan. You always have to give 2 Saichi, and depending on the dice that you choose and actions, it will have a period of time. So a 3-month, 2-month, or 1-month period of time in which that loan is going to be valid. A month period of time in this game is just 1 round. So the longer you have it out, the more money it makes you, but you also don't have access to those Saichi to be able to do different things. So I can give loans, and coming back to the reason we were talking about this for is that my ability of my government privilege tile allows me to get extra money whenever I do that. I automatically get, depending on where I stand in the fame track, a certain amount for every Saichi I have in there. And then I have the take loans area. So sometimes you will not have enough Saichi to be able to do what you want to. And in Pingyao, it provides you the opportunity to take loans, and you have to pay a certain amount of money every round to do that. So let's go back to look at this card again in the solo mode. So my objective in this game is going to be to first get to the 12 on the fame track. So that's all the way down here. I start at 0, and I have to get all the way up to 12. As I go through this fame track, I'm going to unlock different perks as I go. So I'm trying to get to 12. Additionally, what I need to do in this game is I need to get 4 government favor tiles. So I've already got 1, which in a solo game you start with 1. But then I'm going to have to get 3 more throughout my game. And I have to get a total of at least 30 victory points, essentially. Now, this one, the first one that I'm going through, there's an easy mode and a hard mode. So the easy mode is what I just described to you. The hard mode is I have to go all the way on the fame track. I have to get 6 government privilege tiles, and I have to get 35 points. So every time you play a game of Pingyao solo, you're going to draw one of these 8 random story cards, and these story cards are going to give you a purpose. So it's not like there's an AI, you just have a goal that you're trying to get. Additionally, you have these event cards, and these event cards are kind of the crux of what's going on in the solo mode. What you're going to do in it is every round I'm going to draw one, and it's going to tell me what to do. So you'll see that each round, and excuse the typo, it says like I said, there's some of these things that are going to be changed. This when it says town, it means round. in around, it tells us where we're going to place our dice to simulate essentially what other players would be doing. But there's no upkeep other than that. You just place the dice, and then you're playing independent. You get the opportunity to play and not have to play with a dummy character or anything else. The dice just simulate where players would be placing their dice, and we'll get into all of that. So I'm just gonna, like I said, jump into this. I get to roll all of these dice. Typically, in a normal game, I'm only going to roll my color, so I'm blue. I should probably sit in a seat so that I can deal that. I'm going to choose purple, even though that doesn't make sense with the color that I'm doing. Anyway, so I've rolled all of these dice. What I'm going to do is each of my dice are going to go on this track up here to show where they are. So I'm going to put my 3 here, I'm going to put my 1 here, and I'm going to put my 2 here. And I'll explain exactly why those go there, but essentially what we're going to be doing is the different value of dice is going to give us a different ability to do things. So each of these locations that you can place dice at are going to give you benefits according to whatever their die value is. The lower the number, so a 1 or a 2, are going to give you the best possible reward. However, there is a cost with that. When you place a low value die there and there is an existing die there, if you have the lower value dice, you have to pay a value in coins equal to the difference. So if I have, for example, let's just set this up a little bit so that you can see. So you can see here that I need to place a D6 on the West Avenue. So I'm going to place my first one that I rolled on the West Avenue, new slot. There are 2 sections. There's a action space and a rest area. And I'll get into what that means in a minute. I'm going to place my next D6 on the Town Gods Temple. And I'm going to place my first D4 on the County Government action space. Now the colors don't matter where you're placing them in a solo game. You're just using the dice not for their color, you're using them for their values essentially, and they're all just interchangeable. The only die color that matters is whatever color is your own. Then I'm going to put on the security escort service 1 D4 in the rest area and then a D6 in the action space. Then in the Confucian Temple, I'm doing the exact same thing. 1 in the rest area, 1 in the action space. And then finally, I'll put in the central bank, the last die I rolled, and I'll put it right here. So now you'll see that I have dice occupying each of these locations, and they're going to kind of mess with my decision making. So like I said earlier, when I'm trying to put a die in a space, if my value is lower than the die that is currently there, I have to pay the difference. So let's say I take my 3 here and I want to go to the security escort space. Well, first I have to determine, is there a value, a die value that matches mine? Because if there is, I cannot go there. So if there's another 3 here, I can't go there. Fortunately, there's a 1 and a 4, so I could go here. Then I can move this die over. However, I would have to pay 1 coin to the purple player. In this instance, it's just going to be straight to the supply. And I would pay it to the purple player in a normal game. But I pay 1 coin to be able to use that space and activate that space. You're going to go in value order from highest value to lowest value of your die whenever you're playing an action. So let me briefly explain what each of these locations do. So there are a number of different locations that you can go to while you are playing this game, and they all do different things. I have the West Avenue, which is where I can get remittance cards. So if you take a look, you can see that if I have a value of a 5 or 6, I can take a remittance card, and that's these cards all the way up here. I would take the top card from the deck, and then if I had a 5 or a 6, I'd put it on my 1 space, my 2 space for 3 or 4, and I can put it on my 3 space for a 1 or 2 value die. Now, if you have a 1 or 2 value die, you can place it on any space you want. You don't have to put it on the highest value. If you have a 3 or 4, you can place it on the middle space or the bottom space. But essentially what these cards do is they allow me to deposit immediately a Saichi into a branch of the corresponding color. So it says, take a Saichi, put it in a red branch. I currently don't have any red branches. However, if you look at your headquarters acts as every color. So you can always put something use your headquarters for these remittance cards is what they're called. So I would take a Saichi and put it in a red bank. In this instance, I'd have to put it in my headquarters. Then what I'd do is I would say, where would I be withdrawing this from? Now, I couldn't actually use this card because I don't have both a yellow and a red bank that I could deposit and withdraw to. But if I did, say that it was here, I'd have to put a remittance token on the card to indicate that that's where I have to pay to that card. And the corresponding color will also go on the bank that you're withdrawing from. So at the end of the round in which this comes all the way down and you have to discard the remittance card, you then have to pay a Saichi from the bank that it was taken from. Additionally, you will get some bonuses when you do. You get some brokerage bonuses. So whenever you do a remittance card, you're going to get a certain value of coins. So you'll always get 2 coins. But if you're withdrawing from a bank that is level 1, you actually have to pay 1 back. So you get 1 coin. If you're withdrawing from a level 2 bank, you get an additional coin, and a level 3 bank, you get 2 additional coins. So essentially the remittance cards, what they do are they're going to give you the ability to get more money and Saichis to the areas that you want to quicker. Now the Town God, what that does, it's pretty simple. It just allows you to move up on the fame track. You put a die value there, and depending on the value you're getting, you're going to be spending coins or receiving coins in addition to be able to get fame. The security escort service. Now this is the kind of crux of Pingyao and the historical background, is that in China during this time it was hard to transport silver ingots, the Saichi, from one location to the next without being robbed. So they would provide security escort services so that they could take that money and open up a branch somewhere else. And that's what you're doing here. When you come to the security escort service, if you have a die value of 5 or 6, you can open a level 1 agency or a level 1 bank. If you have a 3 or 4, you can open a level 1 or 2, and then if you have a 1 or 2, you can open any 1, 2, or 3 level branch. Now, in order to do so, however, you have to satisfy certain requirements. So, I'm sorry for how fuzzy that is. You can, for the initial amount of Saichi you have to have in your headquarters to be able to do this, for a level 1 branch, is you have to have at least 1 Saichi in your branch to be able to do this, and pay 6 coins. A level 2 is 12 and 2, and then a level 3 branch is very expensive, but they have more perks, so 24 and 3 Saichi. So you have to build up your engine to be able to open these branches, because you're going to be spending money and losing money all throughout this whole process. What you can do when you open up a branch, though, is it allows you to place those Saichi immediately on the branch that you're opening. And that, in turn, during the next income phase, will increase the amount of money you get. So each level of branch is going to give you more money for each one, each Saichi profitable that you have in your branch. Additionally, when you open a branch, you'll notice there are symbols on these different spaces. They're going to give you stuff. So at the end of the game. So at the end of the game, you'll get 1 fame if you open a level 1 branch for every level 1 branch you have. And then you get victory points if you open a level 2 or a level 3 branch. Additionally, each of those branches are going to have abilities on them. So like if we go back there actually, if you look at my level 1 branch, which we're putting on my green space, it has the ability to act as a red branch as well. So I can use that as a red branch or a green branch, which is nice. But that remittance card earlier didn't work for that because I needed the yellow branch. So security escort space allows you to open branches. Next we have the county government. In a multiplayer game, this space and the Confucian Temple space are not available until the 3rd round. So in a solo game, you ignore these symbols right here essentially because you already have access to these things. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to use the county government or the Confucian Temple until the third round. And that's the point as well where you would actually get an additional dice. So in a solo game, you start with all 3 of your dice. In a multiplayer game, you're going to only have 2 dice. Now, the county government, what it does is, we've already talked about the government privilege, the favor tiles. Those will give you additional abilities and bonuses. Same process as other. The central bank is where you are able to set up loans. So you can give a loan or take a loan by using that. And we've already gone over that a little bit. And you'll understand that as we play through. Now the Confucian Temple, what it does is it allows you to recruit agents, essentially. These agent tokens right here. They can be a branch manager, or they can sit in the president's seat. So if we come back to our player board, we can see that there are different locations where you can have different things. And on some branches, there will be a agent spot there to be able to say, I'm going to put somebody there. When you put an agent on a bank, essentially what it does, if it has a spot, is it activates its power. So this one, since it doesn't have a manager seat, I already get access to this ability. But if it does have a manager seat, I cannot use the ability unless I have put an agent there. Additionally, you'll notice that on each of these banks, they're going to have a profitable Saichi value of 2. And sometimes you'll be able to get more Saichis on a branch or a bank than another. So what you want to do to be able to make the additional Saichis that are on there profitable is add agents to their president's seats. You'll notice that level 1 agents have no president seats, so they can only ever earn a profitable amount of 2 per Saichi. And that is all the actions. So now that we've gone over that, and I know that took a little bit, now that we've gone over that, we'll go ahead and walk through what to do on a turn. So basically what we're going to do is, I've already set this up for the first turn. Remember that we had our action here for what's going on this round. This reward, the quest that we're doing, is that if I earn 2 fame this round, I will earn an additional 5 coins. So it may be advisable for me to want to go somewhere where I can use my dice to get fame. Now remember, to get 2 fame from one action would be, I'd have to spend a 1 or a 2 dice. and I can't spend the same action value of dice. So I couldn't put a 2 there. I'd have to put a 1 there. If I put a 1 there, I have to pay a coin. And it may be worth it. So let's think about that for a minute. Right now, what I'm going to do is I always like to try and open branches as soon as possible. So I need to figure out what I have. Oh, and I forgot. I start with 10 coins. So I'm going to draw those. So each game you start with 10 coins, and then you will hopefully not go bankrupt and not have the coins. So now I have my level 3 die, or my value 3 die that I have to spend first to be able to go somewhere. I have 10 coins that I need, and it requires 6 coins to open a branch for a level 1 branch. And I think I do want to open a level 1 branch. And I think I am going to go on the security escort service with my level 3 die. Now, since the difference between the value of dice was 1 and I have the lower value, it means I must pay 1 to the purple player if it were a player. But right now it's just a supply. So I'm paying 1 coin to be able to go to this action spot. And that allows me to open either a level 1 or a level 2 branch. I don't have the funds to open a level 2 branch, so I will just do a level 1. What I do here is I draw 4 tiles. And these 4 tiles, some of them you can see. Let me put them in a spot where we can see them all. So these 4 tiles, what they will do is they each have different abilities on them. And I can do that. Remember I said that these have all the agent token slots for the branch manager seat, meaning that I cannot use these abilities until I can put an agent on it. So running through it, this will allow me to look at an additional remittance card and choose between the two. So whenever I draw a remittance card, I'll be able to choose between the two. This one allows me to reduce the value of 1 die if I activate it at the start of the round each turn, to be able to reduce the value by 1. So if it's a 3, I can make it a 2. And then this is, I get to put a Saichi. I actually don't know what this one is. Now I'm going to have to go look this up. But, so in the rule book, if we come up here, oops, sorry. If we come up here and we go to the second to last page in the rules, we're going to get a symbol for everything. So this says essentially, and you may not be able to read it from there, that the player must choose one of their agencies and pay a value of 2 coins to move a Saichi from the chosen agency to their Pingyao headquarters. Oh, okay. Yep. That makes sense. So essentially what it allows me to do is that sometimes I need Saichi in my headquarters to pay loans. Sometimes I need them for other things. But I don't have the ability to move Saichi from one location to the next because of the vast expanse of China and where these branches are. It's sometimes difficult to get those there quickly. So what we're going to have to do, if I choose that one, is I can pay 2 coins and take a Saichi off of it, an agent or a branch, and then put it on my headquarters each round if I wanted to do that one. I don't think I want to do that one. I think I want Turpan, and I'm going to put that one in. Since I have a red agency with this one already, and I have the green agency, I'm going to put it in my yellow branch spot. What you do with these remaining 3 is that you put them back on the, whoops, if it would let me pick them up. You put them back at the bottom of the pile. So if you ever came back to them, you'd have the option to get those again later. So right now I'm going to do that, which is going to cost me, I have to have one Saichi to be able to put it on the branch, and then I have to pay 6 coins. So I'm going to pay 6 coins to be able to do that. And that's my first action. So as we go through further, now I've chosen an action. I have a value 2 die that I need to determine what to do with. To help me make that decision, I'm going to go back and check what our objectives are. So I'm trying to get government tiles, I'm trying to get fame and points. So I think what I would have liked to do is place both of my dice on the town god's temple to get a lot of fame fast, so that I can kind of compound what my benefits are. Unfortunately, there's already a 2 value die there, so I cannot put my value 2 die on that location. So instead, I got to look at what my other options are. And remember, if the value is higher, I have to pay. And right now, I have 3 coins. So I'm going to take the default action. If you have fewer than 5 coins, you may take a die and then just put it back, bring it back into your hand essentially, and that allows you to take 3 coins. So I'm going to take 3 coins, and I'm just gonna 2, 3. So now I've got my extra 3 coins, and then I will go ahead and take my next action, which we already discussed about what we were gonna do here. Is I'm going to go to the town god temple, and because my value is lower than the 2, I have to spend 1 of my coins to do so. But because of that, what happens is I get to spend 2 coins to get 2 fame, which will work in my favor towards the round's goal. So I'm going to spend 2 coins, and then I'm going to move my meeple up to the 2 space, and by doing so, you'll notice I immediately acquire an agent, which is great because that allows me to put it anywhere I choose. I can put it on a bank spot that I have, so I can put it right here to activate this ability, or I can put it on a blank spot that I can use later, so I can choose where it goes after I've put a branch there. These will count towards victory points in the end for every 2 you have per branch, so they can be valuable in that regard. Right now I'm going to come back and finish the round. So that was the action phase. What I get to do now is the income phase. So what I'm going to do is I come in and I check all of my areas where I would have income. If I can get income from where I've given loans, I'll go ahead and do so. If I can get, which I don't have, I haven't given any loans, so I can't get any income from that. Where I can get the income from right now is that I have some profitable Saichi on my branches. And you'll see that the profit I can get for that is I can get 2 coins for every individual Saichi I have there. So I just earned 6 coins, which I'm going to put right there. So since I've earned 6 coins, that's about the extent of what the money I can get. And remember, in order to open a level 3 branch, I need 24 coins and 3 Saichi. So I'm far from being able to do that. So that's all I can do in the income phase. Then we go into the cleanup phase, which allows me, I take all the dice back and I put them somewhere else for right now. I progress. I move my round marker up, and if I had any remittance card, they would move down. If I had any loans that I had taken, they would move down and I'd need to pay for them. But I don't have any of that right now. So right now, what I can do is draw another card. So I'm going to draw this card that's going to tell us what to do next, just to start the whole process over again. So as I'm doing this, I first need to go ahead and roll. Now, one thing I didn't tell you is that at the start of, after you've placed all the dice, during that kind of initial phase, I can purchase Saichi. So you can always purchase Saichi at the start of a round for 10 coins. Now, that's also how much victory points they're worth. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio in victory points at the end. So for every Saichi you have, it's 1 victory points. For every 10 coins you have, it's 1 victory point in the end. But it is really nice to be able to have your money in the form of Saichi, because that's how you're opening banks, that's how you're doing different things. So it's good, and that's the only time in the game in which you can purchase it. But you can purchase as many as you want. So depending on how many coins you have, I don't have enough, I won't be able to do that. But now I'm going to grab my dice and put them where they belong. And you'll notice that I have 2 fours. And then I'm going to take a look, and oh, I forgot to mention that if I had, at the end of last round, if I were able to get 2 fame, I get 5 coins. And in fact, we did get 2 fame, that was the whole point. And that's part of the cleanup process. So I got an additional 5 coins. So now I could actually buy a Saichi if I wanted. So now we're going ahead and placing our dice. So I'm going to place the first Grand Manager die on the West Avenue. Then I'm placing 2 D6 on the Town God's Temple. And nothing goes on the government tile. Now this can happen sometimes in the solo mode, is you can have spaces that have no dice on it. And this is what would happen in a multiplayer game as well. If there is nothing there, you don't have to pay anything, and you wouldn't receive any money if somebody put a lower value die on there until they did that. So right now, it's just a free spot. I don't have any downside to not doing that, which could be a very good thing, especially considering that I need to get more government favor tiles. So let's see. On the security escort, I need to put 2 D6 out on those. Now, I just put 2 value 3 dice out, which you cannot do because you cannot have the same value out. So I have to use this die instead for that. And then on the Confucian Temple, I need to put 1, and I need to put 1 or both Grand Manager die on the Central Bank that I have remaining. So 3 and 3. So I have 2 3s, so I'm just going to essentially re-roll one of these. And now it's a 1. Okay. And that's how the whole round goes. That's how the whole process goes. If you have any questions at this point and you need any help, let me know. I'm happy to go through it. But otherwise, now we're just going to play. We're just going to go through. So feel free to chat and let me know if you have anything. All right. So, like I said, I do want to do the county government at some point to be able to do that. But first, what I need to do is I need to spend 10 coins to put a Saichi in my vault. I only paid 5. All right, which means I only have 4 coins right now to be able to do much of anything, which could be problematic, but I can make some money by doing several different things. And in fact, I think what I'm going to do is, because the central bank only has currently a value 1 die on there, and I have a value 6 die, I'm going to go there, which actually earns me, because I don't have the lower value die, it earns me the difference. Now, with a Grand Manager die, because it's a Grand Manager die, that reduces the difference in cost by 1. So typically I would give 5 because I have the widest spread of a 6 and a 1. However, because it's a Grand Manager die, that actually makes it so that I only get 4 coins. So right now I'm just going to change a 1 for a 5, and now I've got 4 coins. And let's see. So that gave me 4 coins, which is really helpful. And it allows me to be able to give or take a loan. Now, this is a tricky thing and maybe a little bit risky, but I'm still going to do it. So because I used my 6 die, the downside about using a 6 die is that I can only give or take a loan for the space of 1 month. So at the end of this round, I have to be able to pay it back, which, again, like I said, this may be risky because when I take it, I put those 2 up there. Whoops. I put my 2 Saichi into my headquarters that I'm borrowing. I put my meeple on the 1 month space just so that I can keep track of where it is. And at the end of the round, I will have to pay 2 coins. But now I have 2 different additional Saichi that I can use this turn to be able to do. But if I can't pay those Saichi back at the end of this round, there's some bad things that could happen. So what I am doing is I'm going to put a 6 there, and you know what? I'm also going to put a 4 there. It's not going to make a difference which one I use because it essentially doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and put it here on this level 1. So when you are taking and giving loans, a give loan will resolve before the take loan. So I can put it there and I can earn the money back out of it that I otherwise wouldn't. Now, one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I already have a government favor tile, which means that when I give a loan in the income phase, I get an additional 3 coins for every 2 that I have in the give loan space. So I'm going to get 3 coins from that, and then I'm going to get the 2 coins that I would normally get unless I could somehow get up to the level 4 space, which would increase the amount. So basically, I'm just going to make a profit of 3 coins off of this exchange because those Saichi will come back down. So it's not a huge profit, but it may work in my favor. And then what I'm going to do with my last one is I'm going to put it on the county government, which allows me, I have to spend 2 coins to be able to do so. Because it's a 4 value die, and if it were a 5 or a 6, I'd have to pay 4 coins. And then what I can do is I can come up and take a look at all of these different tiles that I have, and they'll be able to get me, I can take one. When you take one, so let me take it all the way back down here. When you take one, you'll notice at the bottom of this tile, it has a -1 Saichi. You have to be able to have in your vault a Saichi to be able to pay that off. So I am losing the Saichi that I bought at the start of this round to be able to fund a government favor tile. Now this favor tile is going to hopefully do me some good because it's going to increase the value of each Saichi on my level 1 branch by 2. So normally Saichi on my level 1 branch are going to give me 2, but I've just made it so that each Saichi on my level 1's branches now will give me 4 coins. So hopefully I'm making a lot more money this way. Alright, so I've placed all of my dice now, and that is that round. I need to, I didn't look, so I wasn't able to satisfy this reward because I had to have the give loans on the 2-month period to be able to do so. I have it on the 1-month period. So I didn't satisfy that, but that's fine. I wasn't really going for that right now. But right now, it's the income phase, so I'm going to come and check where my income is coming from. So first, I'm going to check my Pingyao headquarters in my give loans section. I'm going to get 2 coins for each Saichi that I have there. Remember that this is different. It's for each Saichi. The government favor tile is for oops, sorry. The government favor tile instead is for each 2 Saichi. So I actually miscalculated early, and I get more money than I thought I did. So I'm going to get 4 coins, 1, 2, 3, 4, for the 2 Saichi that are in there already, and then I get an additional 3, 1, 2, 3 for my government favor tile. And then these move down back into my vault because they've finished that whole process. And I now get to get money for my profitable Saichi. So I've got 3 profitable Saichi. And remember, again, I have this new government favor tile that I've just acquired that gives me 2 additional coins for every individual Saichi on a bank that I have out. So I have 3, meaning I get 12. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and then I'm going to go 1, 2. All right, so now I'm doing all right. I've got 15, I got 10, I'm at 25 coins this time, which makes it seem like it's far more achievable to open a level 3 branch, except I need 3 Saichi in my headquarters, which I certainly don't have, especially considering now we're entering the cleanup phase, and that cleanup phase is going to require me to put my Saichi, 2 Saichi back into my take loans area, and it cost me a 2 coin rate of interest because I borrowed that, so I have to pay that back. If it were level at round 3, I'm going to spend 6 coins over 3 rounds to be able to continue borrowing from that. So, again, that's a round. We're going to move the round marker up. Then we're going to go ahead and clean this up. Put it over here. I'm going to draw a new tile and see what we're doing. So, let's go ahead and roll all of the dice. I'm going to throw mine up here because it's quicker. And I've got a 1, 2, and a 3. So I've got some good choices available to me, but it may prove to be costly because I have lower value dice. All right, so as we look through this, we're going to see that on the West Avenue, I need to put a Grand Manager die and a Manager die. So I'm going to put a 4 in the rest area. Now, the way you do this is that it's going to tell you where they go. So Grand Manager is going in the rest area because it's in the far left. Manager is on the right, so it will go in the action space. Sometimes, like you see the government favor tile action, the county government, it will go the opposite way. So you're just putting your dice in accordance with whatever direction it's telling you. So 4 and a 6 there. And then I'm putting 1 Grand Manager die in the action space of the Town God Temple. If there's only ever 1 die in the on the card for the solo play, it means that always goes in the action space. You will never not have an action space filled up if there is a die told to be placed in that location. So then let's put in the county government, I need to put, whoops, I did that backwards. There we go. And then in the other 3 areas, I just need to put a die. All right, and there we have it. So now at this phase, I can spend money to get some Saichi, and that's exactly what I would like to do. I've got 15, and I think I'm gonna go invest big. Let's see. and try and get 3 Saichi, because, like I said at the start of this, Saichi are some of the most important, if not the most important, resource in this game. So I get to have 3 of these now come into my headquarters that I've purchased, which can be used later to be able to get open branches, etc. Right now, I don't have a lot of money, so I need to find a way to make some more money. And remember, my die value are really low, so I'm not going to be able to pull out a lot of money out of this turn, I don't think. However, let's take a look at, again, what my objectives are. I need fame, I need more government favor tiles, and I need victory points. Always need victory points, so I'm not going to focus heavy on that. I'm trying to figure out how I can get the government favor tiles, as well as how I get more fame. So fame actually seems like a really good option for me right now, especially since I can put something there, and it's not going to cost me too much because I've got a 1 value die currently sitting on that action space. So I may go in heavy fame this round, and then see if I can find another spot to get some money. Let's see, what is that? So if I put my value 3 die here, because this is a Grand Manager, I will not make any money, and I will have to spend 2 coins on that. This one would get me 1 coin, which I believe I would then have, yeah, I have just enough to do it. All right. Ooh, but I could try and, yeah, okay, that's what I'm going to do. Sorry, I'm processing, not telling you what I'm doing. I'm going to take my value 3 die, put it on my county government. That's not going to earn me anything. And since it's a value 3, oh, you know what? So let me show you something that I wasn't thinking about. Because I have a branch manager on Turpan, I can activate at the start of the round my ability to reduce the value of a die by 1. Also, one thing I didn't explain is that each of these die spaces have a cost that you could always re-roll your die value if you want and take a random chance to get something new to it for a cost. But because I have my ability, I can reduce my value by 1, which I think I'm absolutely going to do. So I'm going to reduce this one to a 2, which allows me not to be able to do what I wanted to do because, yeah. Okay, so I lied. I thought I was going to be clever, but I'm not, because there's already a 2 here, so I can't do what I want. So I am just going to come here, put it on the action space, which costs me 2 to be able to purchase a government favor. So I'm going to purchase a government favor from up here. Let's see what we have. I've got, for every remittance I take, I could get 3 additional coins to the brokerage value. For level 2 branches I open, for each one I have during the income phase, I can increase the amount of money I have. That's a great one, but it's not going to benefit me right now. Now this one might, and I think this is the one I'm going to take. So when I place a value 3 through 6 die, which I don't have, on the fame to do a fame action, so to do the Town God's Temple action, it will allow me to pay an additional coin to be able to get 1 more fame. Now, I'm not going to be able to do that right now because I don't have a value 3 or 6 die. You know, I am going to do it. No, that's right. Okay. You can't buy the ones that you already have. This is for every security escort. If you have a value 3 die, you can use the value 3 die to open a level 3 agency and get a agent token. I think I still am going to take... Since I'm going to be focusing on fame this game, I am going to take this one. Spend my Saichi on it to be able to do that. I'm not going to be able to use it this round, unfortunately, because I have 1 coin left. And I'm going to put my 2 here. Since they're both Grand Managers, I don't have to worry about recalculating the difference. I just get 1 coin outright. And then, since it's a value 2, I spend 2 coins to be able to get 2 fame. I have 1, and I just gained 1 from the exchange I just did there. So I do get to go up to level 2, which puts me to level 4, which unlocks my ability that during the income phase, any Saichi that I have in the give loans area is going to be increased in value. So it shows it also right here on your board, so that when you're on 4 or higher on the fame track, you get an additional coin for each Saichi, which is nice. But again, I don't have any that I've loaned out yet, but it may be worth it, except I can't. So I have a value 1 die. I have no coins. I can't go anywhere except I can't even go get more fame because there's a value 1 here. I can't go anywhere. So I can't do anything with this remaining die. I can't even re-roll it because I didn't manage my money very nicely. So I'll just take it back, and it will gain me 3 coins because I have less than 5 in my supply. So I've just gotten some money. At least I get some money out of it. All right, that is that. We're going to go ahead and check out where we are. So now we're going to do the income phase, which is great because I need some money. I don't have any in my give loans area, so I get nothing there. I get, again, the 12 that I've been getting thanks to my government favor tile. And that will be it for my... I have nothing, no remittance cards, nothing going on here. So I'm going to take all of my dice back, and we're going to put them here. We're going to check to see, did we get that? I acquired a level 1, or I mean a new government favor tile this round. So I get a reward that I get to take a remittance card and put it on the second month loan track, which is great because it happens at the end of the round. So after I've already done my cleanup, it's not going to knock down immediately, which means that I can deposit into a red branch a Saichi from the supply. So I'm going to use my headquarters as that, so I get a new Saichi in my headquarters. Then I have to determine which branch I'm taking it from. And the only branch I have that is a yellow one is this one. So I'm losing at the end of this remittance card. I will lose the Saichi that is on this branch. Now, hopefully, before that happens, I'll be able to open some other branches and get some income going before that happens, because I've got some time before that occurs. Additionally, what happens is now I've got my brokerage amount. So I get 2 coins because I automatically get 2 coins, but then you look and it's a level 1 branch that I'm borrowing from, or my Pingyao headquarters, which actually costs 1. So I'm actually only going to gain 1 coin from that brokerage, which is still good because I'm at 16 coins, which allows me to do some work in ways that I want to. All right. And I do not believe... Yes, I did. Okay. So, now what do we do? I'm drawing a new one. Oh, no, I didn't. I need to go here. Okay. So, now we're going to start the whole process again. So, I'm really enjoy the whole like process of this solo game because there's a lot that you can do, and each time I've played, I've been able to essentially try different strategies every time. Like I've never had the same outcome every time. I've never used the same government favor tiles. I've never because I get different branches, I have to do different things. The dice that are on the action selection spaces make it so that it's I can do certain things some rounds, and other rounds it's not available to me. So I have to pivot and I have to rearrange. And I really enjoy the fact that as I'm playing this with the solo version, I really enjoy that each game has a different objective, and there are 8 of these different story cards. So you're gonna be able to play through different versions of them, and we have 10 different event cards. So the game's not gonna interact the same every time, and you're not even gonna see 2 of the cards in every game. So I love that interchange. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is that whenever you pull a remittance card, you move up on the remittance track. So I get to move my people up 1 on the remittance track. Now let's see where we're placing. So I need to place 2 manager die on the Western Avenue. Make sure those are different. I need to place a manager die on the Town God Temple. Nothing on the government, county government. I need a manager die on Security Escort Service, and a manager die on the Confucian Temple, and then I need a Grand Manager in the rest area and a manager in the action space of the central bank. So we're set up. There's a lot that goes on here, obviously, and there's a lot of maintenance that occurs in that first start of the round, with having to deal with all the dice, but I find that when I just pile all the dice together and then just randomly select them, as opposed to deliberately rolling one at a time, it speeds things up for me. Now, this is also Tabletop Simulator, which means that it's going to take longer to play this game. We've been going for about an hour at this point, including the kind of introductory instruction we did and my constant commentary. So the games typically go fairly quickly. You can get through a game. We're almost halfway through this game. We may just go to a halfway point of this game. Maybe we'll go to the end of round 5 instead of round 8. And that's another great thing, is that I can set when I want to end this game. Obviously, that I may not be able to achieve my goals, but we'll get to that when it comes. All right, so what do I need to do this round? I can purchase more Saichi, but I've already got 3 Saichi currently in my my bank, or in my headquarters. So I'm not going to purchase more Saichi because I think I'm set on those. I think what I want to do this round, though, is I want to try and get some money so that I can get a level 3 going, as well as potentially just opening a level 2 branch. So maybe I'll start with that. I'm going to have to pay some money to do it, but I think that is how I want to. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and take my 5 and put it on the Security Escort Service, gaining me 1 coin because of the difference between the value of the 2 die. Then what I'll do is, ooh, that's not what I want. You know what? I lied. I lied because I forget that doing so will a value 5 die is only going to be able to get me a level 1 branch, and I want to get a level 2 branch right now. Well, maybe I don't, because right now with my government favor tile, my level 1 branches are more valuable. So yeah, I lied. I am doing exactly what I said I undid. Alright. Uh, as I do that, I'm going to open another level 1 branch. Now, the level 2 and the level 3 branch powers are more powerful. So I tend to like to get those more. But early on in the game, it's nice to be able to, with the government favor tile I have, and that is actually one government favor tile I've found that I've used every game so far, is the one that allows me my level 1 branches to earn more money for the Saichi. Anyway, but these powers are not as robust, so I'm not as big of a fan of it. -2 to re-roll a die, and we've seen these other ones, but I'm gonna, yeah, we'll go and put a red one here, and then we'll come back and put these away. I do like getting to the level 2 and 3 branches as quick as possible, though, because they provide me with a lot more robust abilities, but I'm clearly not doing that right now. So I put remember that this is going to cost me 6 coins and 1 Saichi to do. So I have to get rid of 6 coins to do it, which I've just done. Now I've opened another branch, getting me more income every turn. One thing that's good to note about the Confucian Temple is that you can take, if you have a 1 or 2 value die, you can take it, get an agent with it, and then you can also take a Saichi from your headquarter and add it to any branch. So if you want to increase the amount of profitable Saichi on a branch, so like these level 1 branches, it's nice to be able to do that. I may be doing just that, but right now I also need to check what is the reward. So if I go ahead and either take a loan, yeah, I could do that. If I take a loan at a level 2, then I get 2 fame, which is really appealing to me right now. Which means I need at least a level 4 so I can do that, but I can't do it here, so I have to do that. Alright, so that's one of those instances in which I was talking about that sometimes you want to do something on a turn and you can't. I wanted to use both of my dice that remained to go to the central bank and take a loan and then immediately give a loan with those so that I could earn as much money on them as possible. I can only take a loan, which I still see as valuable, but not as valuable as I wanted. Let's see what my alternative is that I want to do. How many Saichi do I have in my headquarters? Alright, I could do that. Yeah, let's finish this off. Let's finish off my objective that I need to have at least 4 to be able to win. You need 6 to win the hard mode. We're aiming for easy right now. So I'm going to put my 4 value Grand Manager die here, spend 2 coins, because it's a value 4 die. I'm going to then come up and determine which one of these I want. And I think I want this one, so that I can use value 3 dice to open level 3 agencies as well as gaining a agent token. Alright, so to do that I have to spend 1 Saichi, and that is not too shabby. And then I'm going to take my value 2 die, and I have to spend 2 to do so because the existing die on the action space was value 4. So doing that, I spend 2, and then I get to take a loan, which will be good in the long run because I get to choose. When I place a 2 value die, I can choose between which level I want to do it at. So I'm going to set this loan at a 2 so that I can satisfy the, or not that one, the objective. That means that I get 2 fame on this, which fame in this case is very valuable. All right, so that wraps up that turn. What I'm going to do now is check my income. I have 4, so I get 16. 2, there's 15, and then I get 16 coins for those. And now I have to do the cleanup stuff. So I reduce my remittance card down 1, and I reduce my loan, my take loan action down 1, and I spend 2 for interest on that, which is good enough for me. Let me clean up these dice. And then we're going to put them right there. All right. And then now that those are there, what else am I getting? I'm getting the reward for this round's quest. So I get 2 more fame, which is great. It means that anytime I get a remittance card now, I can always look at a second one and choose between the 2 which one I want to keep, which is handy. Alrighty then. So that is that round. We're going to move up, and then we're going to go and draw a new round tile. If I get 4 fame this round, then I'm going to be able to get, during the income phase, an additional 2 coins. That seems not worth it right now to focus on. But we'll see. If I can get it, I'll go for it, of course. Let's put my value 1 die, value 6 die, and value 2 die in their respective locations. In the West Avenue, I need to put a 3 value die in the action space. In the Town God Temple, I need to put a Grand Manager, which is level 2, and a normal manager die. Alright, and then we've got the County Government 1. I've got 2 in the normal spot for, 2 of the normal dice in the security escort. So I'm going to put this one and this one, and 1 of each. Okay. So now that we've done that, I can go ahead and purchase Saichi if I want, which I think I do want to purchase 1, because remember, at the end of this round, I have to pay this back. And if I can, I would like to be able to open a level 2 branch this turn, which is going to cost me 2 Saichi. And otherwise, I would have to go into a kind of a negative state if I don't pay back my loans. Bad things happen. It's not nice. There we go. So, let's see. That would be what I want to do. So if I want to get a level 2, I've got, I've only got 11, so I have to do this like this. So I have to take my value 6 die, put it in the action space for the security escort agency. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? Because it would have earned me the money I needed, but it won't let me open a level 2 branch. So how can I do this? Alright, I think that means that I need to find a spot that I can put my value 6 die to make the most money out of it. That's not going to be any different. So I'm going to put it here to gain 2 coins. as well as, oh, that still hurts, but not as bad. Pay one of those coins back so that I can move up on the fame track. If I wanted to, I could pay an additional coin to move up an additional time on the fame track, which I don't think I have the means to do that and be able to. I don't know that I'll be able to open a branch this turn. I won't, so I am gonna spend 2 to be able to do that, which gets me an agent token. That agent token may come in handy, but I'm going to put it on an empty space for now, so that I can use it. But it's committed to that color, so I can't switch it between those. It is committed now. However, it doesn't have to be decided on yet. So as such, I'm going to do that, and then I think I can make some decent money if I do this. We'll see if I can do it. We're going to put it here, which still costs me 1, but only 1 because they're both grand managers. That's a level, oh, sorry, that was a 2. That's a 2. Let's see. And then I can take a remittance card. It's not going to earn me as much money if I do that, actually. Alright. I'm going to finish the action that we were doing last round and make sure that my Saichi go and make me money that I took a loan on. So I'm going to do that. I'm still paying the 1 coin that I already paid. Actually, no, I'm not, because they're equivalent. So I actually don't have to pay anything, because a 2 grand manager is equal to a 3 manager die. So now I've got a 2, and I can give a loan. And since I can't open a branch, I'm going to go for the full value of giving a loan for 3 months to do that, because I don't foresee myself making enough money this round to be able to do that. So now I have a level 1 die, and I think that's not going to work. Okay, let's take a look again. I need fame. So let's do that. I'm going to use, since there is a 6 here, a 2 here, and a 4 here, I can still place my level 1 or value 1 die here and spend 2 coins to be able to go ahead and go to the highest value and get 2 fame out of this. Additionally, what I can do is I can, because I have my favorite tile, I can also get, oh no, because it's only for value 3 through 6, so I can't get extra on that. So I'll just go up 2. But the great thing about this is now it's making my Saichi more valuable that I've just put into my give loans area. So I'm making a lot more money off of those Saichi that I've put in there. And that will conclude that turn. So now let's go to the income phase. I am not doing so great in this game, but even still, I'm enjoying it. As such, let's get some income. So I'm on level 10 of the fame track, which means each Saichi is going to get me 5 coins that are in the give loans area. So I get 10 coins out of that. And remember, I have as well a government favor tile that gives me an additional 3. So I just made 13 value coins on that loan that I've given. That's the most profitable loan I've done so far in this game. And then I need to adjust this, shift it down, and then I've got 4 of these, so I get an additional 16 coins. for the profitable Saichi I have in my banks. Now, what happens is we need to go in and I need to pay back my loan that I took out. So I put my Saichi back there. Then I have to spend 2 for the interest rate. Next, in cleanup, I need to come back over here and remember I have a remittance card. So I have to pay that back, and it has to go be removed from here. So I just lost 1 Saichi that was making 4 coins every turn. This gets discarded, and then we're good. So I like the thematic side of that as well, the remittance cards, because historically speaking, you would take these remittance tickets, and so an interesting fact, and you can kind of see it on some of these in the art they did. Historically, they did watermarks, and they did put passwords and other types of like things that banks from one part of China to the other were able to interpret and say that this is a valid remittance card. So they'd take it from one location and say, hey, I'm traveling to this part of China. I need to be able to take money with me and have money when I'm there, but I don't want to travel with it because I don't want to get it stolen. So they would take these remittance slips from one bank and take it all the way to this other location in China, and then they would exchange the remittance slip and say, here's my remittance slip, this is how much money I'm withdrawing from your bank. And it would be a trip, so it would take time before you get there. But because of the passworded and the watermark sealed and all of the interesting historical tidbits of it, it actually made it so that it was a very secure system and reliable, so people couldn't make forgeries very easily. So I like that as I'm putting back my remittance slip, I'm now claiming the deposit that I took out from one location is now being claimed by the other location. So they balanced their books essentially. So I like the thematic tie in there. All right, so now that we've done that, I need to move my round marker up. I need to collect my dice. There we go. I need to verify, did we make 4 this round? I think we only did 2. Or did we make 4? That is a question I should have answered. We did, because I did 2 here. Alright, I'm going to rewind this a little bit so that I can see where my dice were to help me. Great thing about Tabletop Simulator, right? So I did 6. I paid an extra. I did, because I got 4 in that round. Awesome. So I should actually have an additional 2 coins. So look, I said I wasn't going to do that unless it worked out for me, and it did work out for me that I'm doing it. All right, so this is going to be the last round. We're going to go through this round and then score. I'm not going to win because I'm not doing the full game. I just know that we're almost at an hour and a half at this point, and that's due to me blabbing, so the game doesn't take normally this long. But this gives you a good feel of what the game will be, and we'll continue to do live streams. If you're interested in playing with me, learning from me at some time, let me know. I'll set up a time to demo this game to you. If you want to come on the live stream and play a multiplayer game so that we can show the different player counts and that you can get the experience, let me know. I'm happy to play this, and we can find a time that will work. All right, so now I need to roll all these dice that you cannot see yet. All right, and place them in their locations. I need to draw a new card. Let's see what we got this time. If I do 2 remittances this round, I get 2 fame. which, I mean, remember that actually I might be able to achieve some of these objectives. I don't think I'm going to have enough victory points to actually win this round, well, on the easy mode, but we will see. I probably need the last part of the game once my engine's going, and now I have the ability to make money. I have 38 coins right now. I can open a level 3 branch, and I think that's what I'm going to try and do this round, if that is at all possible. All right, so let's go take a look and see. We need, on West Avenue, I need a 1, 2. On the Town God's Temple, I need to put these here. On County Government, wait, did I read that right? I almost put a Grand Manager die there, and that would have been wrong. Security Escort, we're going to put this here. Oh, that makes it rough. It's a value 5 die, and that means that it's going to cost me some. And then our last 2 Grand Manager die go here. All right, so we are good on that. Let's see. Now, I could buy Saichi. Do I need Saichi? Oh, yes I do. I'm going to buy 1 Saichi and then take a loan is my, I think, plan on that. So I'm going to take 1 Saichi, because remember, for a level 3 bank, or to establish it, you need 3 Saichi. So I need at least 1 and then take a loan to be able to do what I want to do. How many coins do I have? Let's get rid of that. So I've got 28, and I need 24 to open a branch. So this could be tight. We'll find out. All right, so I'm first going to have to take a loan. But fortunately, that gains me 1, because it's a Grand Manager die, and even though it's a value 2, mine's only a Manager die, so the difference is only 1 coin. But I gain 1 coin, which is going to help. And since it's a value 4, that's exactly what I would like. I'm going to take a loan for 2 months. That way it syncs up perfectly with my loan that my give loans. They'll come back right before I have to pay my loans back. So it worked out perfectly in that regard. And then I'm going to have value 1 dice to place to open a thing, and I'm going to place my Grand Manager dice to cheapen this cost for me. It's going to be 4. Like I said, it was going to be tight, right? So 4, 3, and 4. So now I'm at 25. I wasn't kidding. I have 1 coin to spare once I have opened this level 3. Because I want to show you some of these level 3 abilities and how they also interact. So I'm going to draw my 4 because I'm starting a level 3. And we're going to come over here so you can see what these do. So we have these 4 different ones. This first one, this first and second one are essentially the same. Gives you 1 victory point for every branch that is either green or, in this case, red. So every one that I have a bank open in that slot will give me that. That could be valuable. For every 3 remittance cards I've taken at the end of the game, or sorry, not cards, but when I'm on the remittance track, if I'm at a level 3, for every 3 I am on that track, I'm going to get 1 value. For every 5, I'm going to get a victory point for for fame. So let's see. I have, I think, a greater likelihood I probably will go with the green. Or, no, I'll go... Ooh, see, this is tricky. Because if I take a green and I put it on a green, it's fine. I could do that. But, sorry, you're not seeing much. It's where I put it that matters. And I still have to have an agent token for it to work. So yeah, I'm going to take a green and I'm going to put it on a green. Remember, I put this agent token here. I should have put it here, but remember I said it's locked in, so I can't change it even though I've got it there, which is unfortunate because that would have been really nice to be able to activate that ability. That ability does not activate unless you have an agent on that spot. So the other thing that's interesting about a level 3 agency is that now I have to spend 20, right there, 4, and I have 1 coin left. So I spend 24, and I take all 3 of these Saichi, and I have to put all 3 on my branch. Remember what I said, though, that each bank only allows you, in the bottom right here, a profitable Saichi amount of 2 to begin with. So again, you're laying the options of, do I pay for to activate my agent, my manager, so that I can activate that end of game bonus, or do I put a manager in the seat so that I can make sure that I'm getting as much value out of the Saichi that are on that bank as possible? Because right now, during the income phase, I'm only going to get income based off of 2 of these Saichi and not 3 of the Saichi, which makes things a little bit tricky, and you have to kind of weigh those costs a little bit. But I also, so I've paid for that. We're okay on that. I need to figure out what I'm doing with my last dice, because I could use it to add an agent if I wanted by going to the Confucian Temple. But really, what I'd like to do, and I can't do it because I don't have the money to pay, I wanted to be able to go to this town god's temple to be able to get some fame so that I could win. But I can't. But I need to be on level 2 of the remittance track. I might be able to do that. No, I can't, because I would need money to do just that. And I don't have money. This is where I'm in a predicament. I can't do the things that I want to do because I just spent a lot of money to open a level 3 branch, which is valuable, but is it valuable enough? I don't think there is a single spot on this board, unless except for this one, that I can place the dice because I can't pay for it. But I don't want to place it there because I can't open an agency. So right now, the only option I have is I have to take it back into my supply, which gives me an additional 3 coins, which is great and all, but I told you that we were ending the game on this round, even though I have 3 more rounds that I would normally end the game on. We're going to end it here. But if you wanted to continue, you would be set up in a good spot to be able to get a lot of money. So I'm going to go through the end of the game process as well, just to show you what that would be like. But right now, let's finish this round out. So we come and decide to go into the income phase. So I've got my income phase going on right here. I will first get my loans. I'll knock those down, or the loans that I've given, I collect interest on. Remember, I get 5 for every 1 Saichi that I have given a loan to. So I get 10 from that. And then again, as a reminder, I also get an additional 3. So I just made another 13. Again, that would have been really nice to have about 5 seconds ago. So and then I've moved my loan down to 1 more month. So I have 1 more month until that loan is completed. Um, then I'm going to come collect on my profitable Saichi. I'm getting 4 for each of these, so you normally get 2. But remember, I have my government favor tile that gives me an additional 2 per Saichi. So I'm getting 12 on those. 1, 2. And then on my level 3 agent branch, I have 3, but I'm only getting a profit on 2 of them because I don't have anybody sitting in my manager seat or one of my manager seats. So I make, on these ones, they also earn me 4. So I'm making an additional 8. I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 8. Sorry, my counting's weird, I know. All right, so I've got my income completed. Now I need to go to the cleanup. I don't have any cards in my remittance area. I do need to reduce my take loan value, and then I need to clean up and take these dice all back off of this. And then we're going to come to endgame. Now remember, in a solo game, your end game is going to be based off of, did you accomplish these? Outright, I can tell you right now I have not, because I do not yet have 12 fame on the fame track. I would likely be able to achieve that one fairly simply. But I did get my 4 government favor tiles, so I'm partway to winning. Again, this is not a full game, so at least the ability to win on the normal mode is there, it looks like. But now we calculate how we're going to score the victory points. So let's go to endgame scoring. So this rule book here gives it all to you. So at the end of the game, we're going to score 1 point for every 10 value of coins that we have. So I'm going to actually, I like to pull out a counter just to help keep track of my points. So we're going to do that, and I have 5 coins, so 25 plus another 12 means I'm at 37. So I get 3 points for my coins because I didn't have 40, obviously, and it's 1 point for every 4. So I got that. Next, every Saichi that you have on your headquarter or agency tiles is worth 1 victory point. So, as such, we're going to see where that is. And this is, so it does not count things that are in your take loans area. So if this were the final round of the game, I should actually come back and have these in here. So those won't count. But then we count these other ones. So I have 3 here and 3 here. I have 6. So I get 6 more points. And again, like I said at the start, coins, 10 coins and 1 Saichi worth the same, but in the game, Saichi are really valuable because of how you can use them. They're more versatile in some ways than the coins. Then we earn a victory point for each level 2 agency I have. I have none, so none is earned. Earn victory points for if I reached or surpassed the 12 on the fame track, which, by the way, I just realized I did because I also get the 3 fame that is underneath underneath my agencies. So I actually do have 1, 2, 3. I am right here. So I did earn victory points if you reach or surpass the 12th space of the fame. So I earn 1 victory point because I got 1 from the fame track. Yay. That did complete the objective, though. At least I have the 12 for winning. Overall, I don't think I'm going to have enough to win by points. So earn victory points if you reached or surpassed the 9th space of the remittance track. I did not. In fact, I only pulled out one remittance card the whole game, so I was very low on the remittance track. And earn for every 2 agent tokens on or below an agency tile on your player board. So that's on or below an agency tile. I only have 2 tokens total, and they're not on the same agency. So that doesn't kind of bode well for me. I get none there. If you have an agency tile with agent tokens in the president seat or government tiles which have the end of game, I earn them. So I do get one in the president seat, but it's not for victory points. And I did not unlock this ability, which would get me 1 for every green agency, so I would have gotten 2. So, in the end, I was able to, let's come over here. I was able to get all of the fame I needed. I got all the government favor tiles that I needed to be able to win on normal, but I didn't get enough victory points. I got a third of what I needed. So you can see how this game has a lot of different ways to play and a lot of avenues for victory. And each game is going to play differently. Like I said earlier, I've never played the game and chosen the same strategy because sometimes those strategies don't work out for me. I'm not able to go in and do the things I want to do. You've seen that in this video. I haven't been able to grab a bunch. However, I think there's a lot in this game and a lot of choices and a lot of different things. And there's a bit of a learn to it, but it's worth it. Like every time I've played since, I've really enjoyed it. Now, if anybody watching has any questions or wants to play this game, I've said this a couple times, let me know. You can ask your questions here now if you have them. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Or you want to play the game, come play the game. We'll do that. We have a Discord server, and that post just got posted in our chat bar. You can see that there on the screen. You probably won't be able to click it because it's in the window. Now, we have Discord server that you can join if you want to come play a game with us. We also have we're everywhere on social media: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We're on YouTube. This isn't streaming to YouTube because of some technical difficulties in getting the approval process through. But that should be coming soon. We will be doing these live streams on a weekly basis. As such, we will be doing giveaways and things. There's content for Pingyao that is kind of the deluxe content. There's some pictures of what that is on Board Game Geek. If you are interested in this game, you want to learn more, know more, find us, contact us in one of these means. Let us know if you have questions. We want to play this game with you. We are excited about this game. We will be doing giveaways. We will be launching on Kickstarter on January 12th, 2021. And there's going to be an expansion to this called the Golden Pawner. That'll be part of this. This is just the base game right here. We'll get into, as we do more live streams, we'll get into some of that content as well. Again, thanks for joining. Thanks for stopping by, chatting, playing, watching me play rather. Hope to play sometime with you. Thanks.